Welcome to today's tutorial where we will explore how to build a decentralized application, commonly referred to as a DApp, on the Ethereum blockchain. My name is Your Name, and I'm thrilled to guide you through this exciting journey into blockchain development. Before we dive into coding, let's first understand what a decentralized application is. A DApp is an application that runs on a peer-to-peer network, rather than being hosted on a centralized server. This makes them more resilient to failure and censorship. So to build a DApp, the first thing we need is to set up our development environment. The essential tools you'll need include Node.js, NPM, and the Truffle framework. Let's start by installing these tools. Once you have Node.js and NPM installed, you can set up Truffle, which is a popular framework for Ethereum development. Truffle will help us manage our smart contracts and test them without needing to deploy them to the live network initially. Now we can create a new Truffle project, navigate to your desired project directory, and run the following command. This command initializes a new Truffle project with a basic directory structure. You'll see directories for contracts, migrations, and tests created for you. Let's look into the contracts directory where we will write our smart contracts. For our DApp, we'll create a simple smart contract for a voting application. Let's create a new file called voting.sol inside the contracts directory. This code outlines a simple voting mechanism that allows users to vote for candidates. We can see that we have a struct for candidates and mappings to track the candidates and if users have voted. Next, we need to compile our smart contract. Truffle makes this straightforward. Run the following command. This command will compile the Solidity code in your contracts directory and produce the corresponding ABI, application binary interface, as well as bytecode that we will use for deployment. Now that we have our contract compiled, we need to set up a development blockchain to deploy our smart contract for testing. We can use Ganache, a personal Ethereum blockchain for development. If you haven't installed Ganache yet, you can download it from the Truffle website. After you have Ganache installed, start it by running this command. Ganache will output various details about the local blockchain it creates, including a list of accounts you can use and their respective private keys. With Ganache running, we're ready to deploy our smart contract. To deploy the smart contract, we need to create a migration script. Migrations are an important part of Truffle that helps in deploying contracts. Let's create a new file to_deploy_contracts.js in the migrations directory. In this script, we import our voting contract and deploy it using Truffle's deployer utility. Now, let's run the migration to deploy the contract to our local blockchain. You should see output indicating the deployment of the voting contract, including its address on the local blockchain. Keep this address handy because we will use it in our front-end application. Next, we'll build the front end of our DApp. For that, we'll use a simple HTML/CSS/JavaScript setup. Create a new directory called Client in your project's root directory. Web3.js is a JavaScript library that allows you to interact with the Ethereum blockchain. After installing it, we create an index.html file where we'll set up our front-end interface. In this HTML file, we've set up a simple user interface that displays candidates and allows users to vote by entering a candidate ID. Next, we will create an app.js file where we will write our JavaScript to interact with our smart contract. In this app.js file, we set up Web3, connect to the user's MetaMask wallet, and interact with our smart contract to load candidates and cast votes. Don't forget to replace your tracked address with the actual address of your deployed contract. We are almost done. Now that we have all our components ready, let's serve the front end. You can use any simple server for this purpose. For instance, you can use the HTTP server NPM package. Visit http://localhost 8080 in your browser to see your DApp in action. You should see the list of candidates, and you can vote for them by entering their ID and clicking the vote button. Congratulations! You've built your first decentralized application on Ethereum. As a summary, you learned about dApps, how to set up a development environment, deploy a smart contract, and create a front-end using Web3.js. As you continue your journey with blockchain development, you can expand on this simple DApp by adding features such as user authentication, real-time voting updates, or enhancing the user interface with frameworks like React or Angular. Thank you for joining me in this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed learning about DApp development. If you have any questions or would like to see more tutorials like this, please leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe for more content on Java programming and software development.